All right, hi everyone. This is Michael from Metal Exposure, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Johanna Kurkela and Martijn Westholt from Eye of Melian. We'll be diving into their new album, Forest of Forgetting, and everything happening around their upcoming shows. Johanna, Martijn, great to have you with me.
Thank you for the invitation. It's awesome to be chatting with you today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. All right, let's dive into some of the questions. Of course, the Forest of Forgetting is coming out later this month. I think it was planned for 2025 at first, so there's a short delay in bringing it out. What happened?
Well, that's a good question. One always needs more time on albums. It's like I never ever in my career heard a musician say, "Well, actually, we released it earlier than we scheduled because we were done quicker." So no, and it's always practical things like, okay, the vinyl can only be ready at that time, and so that's always a little bit how it goes. So, but in general. Yeah, besides that, I think it actually went pretty smooth. Yeah.
We're still close to 2025, right? So it's not that much of a delay. Forest of Forgetting, it feels like an invitation into a world where reality softens a little bit. When you were creating it, what kind of world did you imagine listeners stepping into it?
What a beautiful question. Do you want to take this one, Martin, since you're the father of the music?
Ooh, well, thank you. Well, actually, we all love movie score music, and like composers like Danny Elfman, Hans Zimmer, and and then oh yeah, and we also all love fantasy. So we love that in movies, like of course Lord of the Rings, or but also other things like Harry Potter, but also games like Skyrim. So because of that mutually shared love for those kind of things, it pretty quickly goes in that direction. And when I started playing, that's I always hear Johanna's voice in my head when playing, and that kind of goes there. And yeah, I don't know how else to explain. It's not that you very concretely say, okay, I'm going to write this or that. I just start playing, and I just let the music kind of guide and lead me. And yeah, that's a little bit how it goes. And then of course it goes to Miko, who's really good at arranging orchestra, and also to Johanna and Robin. And yeah, we are all kindred spirits. So there's really a special connection, and I always know that when it goes to them, they have the same things, the same thoughts about the vibe and the music. So yeah, then you come to this fantasy kind of vibe.
All right, that's actually a great intro into another question I had. Seeing this is the second full album, of course. Are there any changes in the creation process starting from that one into this one?
Changes. I'm not sure. What do you think, Martin? I mean, we sort of found our way of working with the first album, right? We discovered that we work best alone in our own home studios, and then even though we are apart, it feels like we're still in the same room. It feels like it's coming from the same heart. That's how connected we are to each other, and share the same vision. So it turned out to be such a great approach to making music together. So we just picked things up from where we left them with the first album, and just continued doing what we loved doing the first time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but did it? I mean, there's also certain creative challenges, I guess, working separately. Creative flows often comes from when you are together as well.
Well, I think for me, the freedom is actually the freeing that I get to work alone, because that means I'm not tied to anyone else's schedules of when inspiration hits me. You know, I could be recording vocals and in the middle of the night without bothering anybody else. So there is that freedom, and then
Yes.
I get to spend as many hours as I want to on the music, and then it becomes this beautiful match of like a tennis match of inspiration, where you throw your creations to the next person and they come up with something else and something new and in the whole, and then it just grows and it's like the snowball effect. So even though we're not physically together, I feel like we're immensely inspired by what each of us does in this group.
Anything you want to add to that, Martijn?
Yeah, yeah. First of all, of course, she bothered the cats now and then when she was singing.
Oh, I know. All those days, there's so many vocal recordings that I've got. I've belted out this long note, and there at the end of it, you can hear annoyed cats. It's just the sound of meow, meow. And that was it. Yeah.
Those are the best recordings, I think. But no, it's. I have to say, I would not dare to do this process with others. So there's really a lot of faith, respect, and confidence. And I always use two words when talking about the creative process in creating our music. And that's, well, first of all, Johanna already mentioned it, the word freedom, that everybody feels free to create and to do what they want. And the other word is besides freedom, it's also that it's a very organic process. So when people always say, wasn't it a big challenge, or the word challenge is not the word that comes to mind for me when I make music for Eye of Melian, and because it's kind of such an organic flow that you just play away, and what comes. And as I said, yeah, as I said in the previous answer, is that let the music guide us. And that sounds very cliche and perhaps a little bit hippie, but it's really true in a way.
It's a flow you get into.
The flow, and because we all have the same ideas about the music and the vibe. It's always when something comes back from the next person, it's Christmas. It's a present to unpack, and I'm always excited, and not, oh, I hope they got what I had in mind, and I hope ever fingers crossed. No, it's always like how do you say, yeah, excitement. Like if you unpack this really special thing, and it's always great. I truly, really think we have a dream team, and I couldn't wish for a better team. Yeah, sounds cliche, but it's really, really true. Yeah.
And I can totally wholeheartedly, yeah, say here and concur what Martin just said. It's, to me, it feels like coming home, even though I've been singing and making music for feels like forever now. But I feel it wasn't until we discovered and formed Eye of Melian that I felt like I found this little little missing piece of my soul, you know, that finally I can bring back into myself and enjoy and live through it, the things that I feel like I've been waiting to do this my whole life. So it makes so much sense, and I'm so grateful, and I can't be thankful enough to the universe for connecting us all. I mean, how amazing it is that we met, you and I met Martin, and you met Robin when you did, and then Miko, and it's just kismet somehow. It gives me chills and goosebumps to even think about how we ended up here and the adventure that we get to now share together, and also with so many people out there through the music and through the live show. So this is just, we always jokingly say that this is our best life ever. It truly feels like it is.
You never know, right? But leaning into that, do you feel like this creative process and working on this album and working with Eye of Melian, does that influence your other work as well? Both of you?
Ooh, that's a good question. If I talk for my part, I have to say no, because the way of working for me on Eye of Melian is completely different than working with Delane. Delane is more kind of this entity I need to how do you say, wrestle bit a little bit in a nice way, because there I do feel challenges. So it's this other dynamic, and I like it. But for me, working on Eye of Melian is very safe somehow. Without safe can come across a bit the wrong way. I mean that very, yeah, in a very positive way. It's almost therapeutic, and like, okay, I have like days off. I'm going to write for Eye of Melian and just see what happens.
Hmm.
And it also starts like that with the Delane, but with Delane it then becomes a challenging, adventurous in a different way. So it's different, and it for me it doesn't influence each other at all, because it's so.
I think maybe Delane would fit more into like it's a business and a fun business, you know. It's there's more tours, there's more things going on, and there's more processes you need to think about. And Eye of Melian is kind of still in the starting gear for that. This is the first actual big tour that you're gonna do. At least to me, I think that might be.
No, because I was really talking about the creative process of it.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so not really the things around it. Actually, if you talk about the things around it, it's both pretty much feels like a business.
Okay.
Because with Eye of Melian, we also have tours that we're working on, and actually with Eye of Melian, it's more work now, because you have to set things up,
Yeah.
and it's a new thing, so you need to like create this infrastructure. But Delane is already there, so yeah, I meant it more with the creative process itself. But it's both a lot of fun, and both is very dear to me. Yeah.
What about you, Joanna?
That's a funny thing because I mean I've been doing a few interviews now and I get asked this question a lot and for some reason I don't really know how to answer because for me the way I approach music and the project the bands that I'm involved in it's just something so natural to me. I don't really give it much thought. So the idea of influencing something maybe happens. I don't know. It's something that could be just subconscious somehow that, I mean, it's still me in all the projects that I'm involved in, right? So there's bound to be some cross contamination. I don't know. But yeah, it's not something that is mind led. You know, it's not something that you say to yourself, now I'm going to influence this other band with my other band or not. You know, it's not a choice that you make. If it happens, it happens. But for me, I never really think about these things. I just enter, I just jump into music like it's a swimming pool. And I don't really you know, think too much about it. I just go and have a swim. Yeah. Sorry.
I can imagine that singing the vocals and hearing different kind of music can also spark your creativity in other ways too.
Absolutely, and that is so true with Eye of Melian. And the way Martin writes music, it just speaks to my heart so deeply. It is again like coming home, like it's coming from my own heart and soul. If I could write that way, I would in an instant. But I'm so happy you're here, Martin, to do that for us all. It's such a privilege to be able to sing these songs and the way they inspire me. I feel like I've grown so much as a singer already, you know, with these two albums, the songs that I've had the pleasure of exploring with my voice. It's been such an amazing adventure every time I receive a new song from Martin. It's again like Christmas, you said. Oh, this exciting new adventure that I get to unwrap and you know, it is something that I love so much. And again, another reason that I love to record my own vocals, because then I can spend endless hours on exploring the realms of the melody lines and whatever it arouses in me to sing. You know, it's the most beautiful process.
All right. With some yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, one thing I was just thinking of, there are a lot of people around us that we work with
Of course.
that inspire me that I don't directly work with. For example, what Tuomas writes, I love the stuff he writes, and what even there are sometimes, not all of them, but sometimes there's this melody and I think, oh yeah, I think this is a really nice melody, but isn't this too much Nightwish? I cannot pinpoint it. And then I have the luxury to simply send a message to Tuomas and said, is this too much you? No, totally not. Continue. And that's really funny. And then, of course, also the fact that Johanna, of course, also worked with Tuomas in a different band, and then now we have Troy like playing with us and Kai. So there is, I bet, at the subconscious level, there are like these elements where people inspire each other, and that's kind of always a magical thing, I think. Yeah.
It's kind of a small world, I guess, with the kind of music we're in and what you like. Eye of Melian draws from many mythic and fantastical sources. This album leans a bit more strongly into Tolkien again, of course. What do you feel made this the right moment to revisit this influence? Do you feel like also maybe the state of the world, people want to dive into more fantasy to escape the reality?
Well, for me, I mean, the answer has always been with fantasy that it's been my tool to understand the real life. That has been like, I mean, imagine how weird it is that I mean, we're born here without, we're not given any manuals on how to ride life, you know. It's something that we need to figure out ourselves. And after devouring so many books, and at school, they only teach you maths and, you know, some odd things that are cool to learn, but nothing about how this life really works and what are emotions and how do they make you feel and how to, you know, deal with conflicts. Or so fantasy books, oddly enough, were a huge source of inspiration for me to kind of, you know, mirror my life's events with the people in the books and how they, you know, reacted to things and just find different ways to tackle with the challenges of life. So I think that is for me the undercurrent of why fantasy is so important and why we draw so much inspiration from it. Even in this band, it is something that is supposed to empower you and give you energy, and it's not something that makes you just bury your head in the sand and escape your daily life, but rather to enhance it and, you know, take that hero pose and find the inner hero in yourself and rewrite your story of your own real life. Because we're doing that anyway. I mean, we're bombarded with stories. Our heads are filled with stories about ourselves and other people and our lives and what they should be. And it's just endless stories. And we don't even realize that we are the authors of these stories, which, you know, create our reality, the life that we live. So if there's a way to change that narrative and to, you know, empower that to be something more beautiful and more hopeful, then you're holding the keys to altering your whole existence in this earth and how you see it and how you experience life itself. So I think there's huge power in there that is yet to be harnessed, and yeah, inspiring.
Beautifully said.
Yeah, beautifully said, Johanna.
Yep.
I cannot add anything to that. Perfect. That's true.
Let's head a little bit into the future. Your first headline show is on February the 20th. It's a major milestone, of course. What can fans expect what they haven't seen in earlier performances? Like the support show for Ari.
Well, first of all, of course, the guests. So we have guests with us, which we never did with Eye of Melian. And with Eye of Melian, we also never did a full headline show. We did this kind of tryout show in June, but it was, I think, kind of an hour, and it was like really in a really small, wonderfully small venue. Actually, also in the same venue, but in the small one. Mm-hmm. So that will be different. So we're also going to do more with the whole picture. We want to take people on this journey and let them forget about their daily things for a moment. I think that's very much a part of what we do, the escapism, and yeah, we're really going to try to paint this other world in the venue at that show. And then of course, indeed, we're going to do this acoustic show with Delane members. So for me it's going to be a bit busy that evening. So I don't know yet how the whole evening is going to look in that regard. So,
I mean, Johanna did the same with the Ari and Eye of Melian show before. So if she can do it, you can do it too, right?
Absolutely, and actually that's even more difficult because she did that with her voice. So,
yep.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a really special evening and really a milestone start of this album cycle, so to say. So I'm extremely looking forward to it, and even more having this whole family of friends and yeah, both in and the people that are part of the band and also outside of the band present. So I hope for magic that evening.
Well said.
What are your expectations, Johanna?
Well, just exactly what Martin said. Just to have fun with the people that you love and spread that love out into the audience, and just the connection. That's what music live is to me. Basically, just connection from one heart to another in the moment. There is.
All right. As you mentioned, Martijn, Kai is joining you for the show. On the album, of course, you also have Troy. You have Patty. How these collaborations come to play?
Yeah, that's a good question. Of course, the connection to Troy and Kai is a very easy in that way. That of course Johanna plays with them in Auri, and for me because I of course with Delane toured with Nightwish, so I know them for years. And it's actually also how I met Johanna. So that connection was easily made, and I always like to tell the story of Troy that he actually informed us that he would be on the second Eye of Melian album.
Nice.
Which is a huge honor, and yeah, we feel spoiled. But yeah, how awesome is it that he says, "Oh yeah, by the way, he literally said it like that. Just so you know, I will be on the next Eye of Melian album." That's really wonderful, and yeah, it also really fits the music anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, for a part, I was wondering, yeah, should I not leave that at Audi and you know, but no, it felt completely right. It's like for the music, it just what he does really complements the music. And for Patty, actually, I already discovered her a while back and really loves what she does. I love what she radiates in terms of energy as a person. I love her voice. I love how the Gertie that she plays, and we really wanted to bring this folkish element to the music because that can really fit movie score music so well. And we also have that a little bit ourselves with Johanna playing violin. She can do that really well, bring this folk element. But yeah, having Patty there is really cream on the cake. And so I reached out to Patty, and we really developed a lovely connection. And she came to the show with Audi and Eye of Melian in Cologne, and yeah, so she got to meet Johanna and Robin and Miko, and it was just lovely. It was wonderful.
That's great. Let's wrap it up with this one. If listeners could walk away from Forest of Forgetting with one feeling or realization, what would you hope it to be?
Oh, what a beautiful question. Do you have an answer for that, Martin? What would you hope?
That they feel revitalized and that they have energy, and that in case they had some worries or you know, feeling the mundane things that everybody sometimes has in life, that they can forget about that for a moment, and that it to make it very simple, I hope it makes them happy.
I love that. Nothing to add to that. That is so perfect.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right. Well, with that, I want to thank you both for your time. Don't leave just yet, but I'll just stop the recording for that. Yeah, once again, thank you so much for your time. I hope the listeners and the watchers for this video will enjoy. I hope they will enjoy the record as well. I did, as far as I listened to it by now. And with that, I hope to see you on the 20th.
Awesome. We'll see you there. I'm so happy. Thank you so much for this wonderful chat.